We are nearing the end of the last trial in the death of Elijah McClain.
The jury will begin deliberations tomorrow morning in the trial of two paramedics charged in McClain's death.
Now, Aurora Fire Rescue paramedics Peter Chikuniak and Jeremy Cooper charged with reckless manslaughter and criminally negligent homicide. Closings wrapped up today. Prosecutors say the paramedics injected McClain with a higher dose of ketamine than recommended for someone his size.
The defendants knew the risks of giving an overdose of ketamine because they were determined to give ketamine, and they didn't give him those basic life-saving measures that would have been so easy to give.
Meanwhile, the defense saying Chikuniak and Cooper were following protocol when they injected McClain with the ketamine.
A large dose of ketamine can increase the risk of respiratory depression. That's what they were specifically taught and trained. Not that ketamine is fatal if you give it. Paramedics with much less training than doctors have are required to go in.
They also said police had control of the situation and it was out of paramedics' hands.
Now, McClain's death, as you know, sparked protests across this country and led to some first responder reform.
Denver 7's Claire Lavazorio explains those changes and why some people say it's still not enough.
Since Elijah McClain's death in 2019, new laws are on the books about the use of ketamine and deadly force. But activists say more work needs to be done.
More than 4 years after Elijah McClain's death, MiDian Holmes, a friend and supporter of Elijah's mother, shares her thoughts.
I'm not going to allow for the courtroom to snatch my hope away again. I'll never allow that again. I do, however, walk in with an expectancy that humanity meets every juror in their seat when they go to deliberate, an expectancy that we do get justice for Elijah McClain. We've been screaming it for so long.
There has been change in the wake of McClain's death. In June of 2020, Aurora police banned carotid pressure holds. The McClain case also led APD to enter into a 5-year-long consent decree with 68 mandates. In October, 2 years into the independent review, the report shows the city is in substantial compliance for 31 of 68 mandates the monitor examined. At the state level, in July of 2021, Governor Jared Polis signed a bill banning police officers from directing paramedics to administer ketamine. The bill requires professionals to weigh people before injecting ketamine, and it bans medical providers from using ketamine to calm someone suspected of criminal behavior. However, Holmes says she doesn't feel these changes as people are still dying.
I think that the family of Jordell Richardson would agree with me. I think that the family of Brandon Cole would agree with me, both killed by the police. I always believe that if we don't have enforcement clauses in our laws, I don't think that we are really seeking and gaining the change that we think we are.
Back in June of 2021, Colorado Congressman Neguse Crow introduced a bill that would ban the use of ketamine during arrests and detention. The Ketamine Restriction Act has not yet received a vote.
And this is the third and final trial in the death of Elijah McClain. 3 Aurora police officers were tried earlier this year. Now, first, former officer Randy Redeema was found guilty of criminally negligent homicide and third-degree assault. His sentencing is January 5th. Now, in that same trial, now former officer Jason Rosenblatt was found not guilty on all charges. The second trial now, Officer Nathan Woodyard was found not guilty. He is now back on the job. He was suspended without pay since September 2021, so now the city owes him more than $212,000 in back pay. All right, so once again, the jury will begin deliberations in that paramedics trial tomorrow morning, 8:30. You can find our coverage, denver7.com/Elijah McClain.